Hyenas. They might have one of the worst reputations in nature and one of the most misunderstood predators in the world. They're known as scavengers, but they hunt most of their food and sometimes have to fight lions. But they're also really weird. They have a creepy, cackly laugh. Their social system is backwards. Their biology is confusing. And honestly, they do not behave the way you'd expect. So let's myth bust what these predators actually are. People really have a misconception when it comes to hyenas and how they get food. Traditionally, they're thought of as scavengers. And yeah, sometimes they are, but they actually kill most of their food. When you see hyenas fighting lions, you kind of assume that the hyenas are the ones trying to steal the prey. Sometimes, but a lot of the time, the lions are the thieves. These two aren't just crossing paths. They have an ancient rivalry. They're direct competitors and constantly running into each other, fighting over food, territory, even prey. And it really comes down to numbers. A single lion can scare off a few hyenas, especially a big male. Hyenas play the number game. They'll rarely be alone. They show up as a clan. And when enough of them are there, they can surround a lion, pressure it, and force it off the kill. But flip that around, and a group of lions can do the exact same thing to them. So this isn't one-sided. It's a constant back and forth. Sometimes hyenas steal the kill, and sometimes they're the ones getting robbed. So how are they able to contend with lions? It starts with their clans. They live in large, organized groups, sometimes with dozens of individuals. And they're not just random groups either. There's a strict hierarchy, structure, and roles to play. They're constantly communicating with each other through calls, whoops, even that weird-ass laugh people think about. And hyenas are smart. They recognize each other, read situations, and adjust. So when they hunt, it might not look like they have a plan. It looks pretty chaotic. They spread out, chase, and slowly wear their prey down. That's why they're so effective. They are not just scavengers. They are coordinated hunters. And it's not just how they hunt. They are built for it. Spotted hyenas have one of the most powerful bites of any land predator. They can crush bone like it's nothing. And when they feed, they don't just eat the meat. They eat everything. Muscle, organs, even bones. Almost nothing goes to waste. And yes, they don't care if their prey is dead or alive. They'll just start eating. That's pretty gross. It's kind of messed up and it might sound brutal, but it's efficient. And due to enzymes in their stomach, they can digest bone and even rotten meat. They're not just tough on the inside, they can take hits, compete with multiple other predators, like leopards and lions. They don't just survive off the scraps. They're built to eat anything. And if all of that wasn't strange enough, this is where hyenas really get weird. For starters, the females are in charge and run everything. They're larger, more aggressive, and they dominate the entire clan. And for the males, they are at the bottom. Rank is passed down from mother to cub. So from the moment they're born, some hyenas are already above others. And the lower on the totem pole that you are, the less you get to eat. And their biology is just as strange. Female spotted hyenas have anatomy that's very different from most mammals. They have a penis. Well, to be more correct, it's called a pseudopenis. It's essentially an elongated lady part, and they even give birth out of it. This makes giving birth very complicated. As you can imagine, pumping out a cub through this worm-like thing is complicated, and lots of hyena deaths are from birth failure. They're not just misunderstood, they're one of the strangest social predators out there. And here's one more thing that people get wrong. Not all hyenas are the same. The one we've been talking about and the one you're most aware of is the spotted hyena. They're the most common and the largest of all the hyena species. But other hyena species actually get stranger. You've got the striped hyena. It's more solitary and more of a scavenger. And they have a large distribution, even going as far as India. And they look like a punk rocker with a mohawk. Then you have the brown hyena, more of a desert species that lives on scavenging. They look like a shaggy mop. And then there's the aardwolf. This one doesn't even hunt big animals. Its favorite food is termites. All hyenidae species are weird. And with that, while hyenas kind of look like dogs, but they're actually related closer to cats. But hyenas are their own thing, but not just misunderstood in how they behave. They're misunderstood in what they even are. And honestly, pop culture hasn't done hyenas any favors. Most people think of them like the ones from The Lion King. Laughing, creepy, and kind of dumb. But real hyenas, they're smart, organized, and they're some of the most effective hunters in Africa. They've just been typecast as the villains. Hyenas aren't just scavengers. They're coordinated, intelligent, and incredibly effective hunters. They compete with lions, live in complex social groups, and they're built to take everything they can from a kill. Hyenas are so weird. If you know another weird hyena fact, put it in the comments and tell me what other weird animal you want me to cover next. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember, nature is random and chaotic. I will see you next time.